food is fuel most of the time, and then food is fun. Sometimes I get to enjoy and I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not cheating on anything. I think that's just a harmful mindset to teach kids is that you're cheating and it's bad.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gretchen Rowe, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this episode of the Demi Learning Show. I am so delighted today to talk about physical and emotional fitness with Ashton Tate. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of months now, and tell us about you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so my name's Ashton Tate. I live in Franklin, Tennessee, just a little bit south of Nashville, and married to an amazing wife, Kelsey. She's a nurse. She's about to graduate with her nurse practitioner, and so she's amazing. We've been married for a little over 6 years, and so she's great. And so yeah, I've been in health and health education for since about 2015, and so yeah, we work with kids, families, and teachers all over the United States to help um, just help kids build a solid foundation in their health while they're young, to understand how to take care of their body so that they can do whatever they're called to do in life.
Now, the name of your business is Glory to Glory Fitness. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so 2015 realistically is when we kind of started the business. I can share some of my story too of just kind of how it came about. And yeah, so when it comes to health, I think a lot of times in our culture right now, you got a lot of health influencers and meatheads and all these people trying to tell you what to do, and these extreme crazy people that you're like, man, you've probably always just been nuts like that, you know? And so my story is a little different. You know, when I was in high school, I was actually about 300 pounds and really struggled personally with health for years, and was addicted to food, really bad acid reflux, pre-diabetic, all that stuff. And it wasn't because I didn't move. Like, I played a lot of the sports. I did football, I did baseball, I did wrestling. But nobody really taught me how to take care of my body, right? I didn't have great examples. I went to public school personally, and so, obviously, with families here that are homeschooling, they already kind of got a leg up on what I had. But as far as being able to really tailor something to their kids, but it's yeah, I just struggled with that for years, and kept was just kind of tired of being that person. I was tired of being the quote unquote, fat kid in high school. That's kind of I didn't have very good self-esteem. I was made fun of a lot, and kind of my senior year, I really just started being tired of that, and started seeing like, wow, like I want to use my body in the way that it was designed, and I want to partner with it, just like a car has an owner's manual. Like, our body is designed in a specific way to function in a specific way. And so I just wanted to learn more about that, and so I ended up losing about 100 or so pounds by my senior year.
So tell me a little bit about what prompted that change for you, because really that's a very mature thought process for a 17, 18-year-old.
Yeah, it wasn't that at first. It was a process. At first, I'll give you one guess. What does a high school aged boy want to lose weight for? What would you
I was
say?
gonna say it must be a young lady, so
Yeah. So that was the first, I was it took me a while. I wasn't always just this like, "Oh, I'm so wise," and, it took a little while. At first, I was like, "Man, I don't wanna be that guy because I wanna impress this girl." That was the first, like, initial, and I was tired of not being looked at all by girls because I was just, at the bottom of the, popularity, not which again, all that's looking back, it's all so dumb now anyway. But as far as, what I was thinking and all that stuff, I'm like, that's none of that's true. And as soon as you graduate high school, like, all that goes away. You're all on a level playing field. But it is, I that was kind of the first initial reason. And then as I started to take care of myself, and I started seeing how, like, wow, like, my self-confidence was going up, and I started feeling better. I started looking better. I started like, wow, like, this is how I could feel. I started, growing. I started getting and getting with leaders at my local church. I started really pressing in and not just, getting healthier, like physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. All those things really came. It was just a big season of growth, and it came out of that first. Okay, like maybe I didn't start quite for the perfectly right reason, but I eventually just developed and started seeing like, wow, okay, here's how I need to take care of my body. Here's how I need to think about it. Here's how the long term is going to look. Just stuff like that.
I think it's interesting that you were thinking long term at even at that age because, a lot of kids, it's here, it's now, and we don't develop a long-term vision for what the future is gonna be like until we've been adults for a while.
It was definitely a process and it came, but I just, you see so many yo-yo and ups and downs and gain and lose and whatever the health journey, everybody's a little bit different and so everybody's journey, there's these ups and downs and these diets and the all, and I was like, man, all I knew is that I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to live my life and be up and down and not consistent and it's so hard to do in this culture that promotes that. And so I started seeing that. I was like, okay, like here's who I want to be. Here's who I don't want to be that person who does that. And I want to really have control over self-control over, how I'm eating and how I'm sleeping and how I'm moving and do those hard things to take care of myself so that I can reap the benefits. But again, it was a process. It wasn't initially just, wow, you're so
I
wise.
like the fact that you said sleeping because, as a parent of 6, probably the hardest message that I had to instill in my own kids is to understand how vital sleep was for their health. My kids are all relatively healthy, but, trying to tell a teenager you need more sleep than your toddler sibling, that's a hard story to press and make it stick, so
Mhm. Yeah, totally. That's holistic. A lot of times people think of health as I just need to go kill myself at the gym and just run myself from the ground, and then I need to eat, chicken breast and broccoli. And like that's like when it's this diet and this and health is so much more about, especially when we're teaching our kids this stuff. We have to have a really holistic, solid approach because especially for young girls, I mean, that's such a crucial age to be teaching and learning and all the stuff they see on social media about nutrition and body image, and it's just, I mean, it's so overwhelming to them. And so you have a generation that is just it's gotten very anxious and struggled with a lot of health, and so it's a lot of what our culture's throwing at them. And so I think just being able to have simple, frameworks to teach them, being able to have something that they can apply and understand and actually think rightly about it versus just doing the things.
awesome. So tell us then how you managed to take this personal journey and make it a professional journey.
So, yeah, I graduated high school and, yeah, like I said, people started asking me for help, and they saw that change in me. And not only did they see the change in me short term, they were like, "Wow, you've been doing this for a year, 2 years. This isn't just a short term, get fit for a wedding or look good for a girl type of thing." They're like, "Wow, like you're a different person." And so people started asking me for help, and I started helping people. At the time I lived with my parents right after high school while I went to college, and I threw some rusted old dumbbells and barbells in my parents' garage and was just like, "Yeah, come over and work out." And at first it wasn't like a business. I just wanted to help people, and then more and more people started and kinda got some counsel on it and ended up getting certified as a personal trainer and then ended up getting a full 4-year degree in health.
In college, did you think that that was what you were going to major in? Did you, I mean, did you have a vision even as an 18-year-old?
No, I kinda wanted to be a SWAT officer. I wanted to I wanted to bust down doors and just beat down bad guy. That and I'm still sometimes I'm like, maybe I should do that. Maybe that would be fun. But no, I just kind of went into college with just a general ed, degree. I didn't know if I was going to do like business administration type of thing or what I was going to do. But I had gotten certified, kind of by that point once I got into college, and I was like, "Oh, this would be kinda a side thing to make some extra money, and I can have some flexible work, and I don't have to, like, work a 9 to 5, or like a hourly job type of thing," but then it just kept growing and growing, and I was like, "Man, like, I can make a really good business out of this, and we're helping a lot of people," and so I ended up, having a really nice gym that I built out in my parents' garage. I mean, it was fancy for like a garage gym. And then we ended up when I graduated from college and stuff, I ended up, moving out, and we had our own little kind of studio gym and training and group classes, and just yeah, helped a lot of people just make health really simple and apply it, to their lives. After that, it was mostly just word of mouth.
All right. And so then that brings us to where you are today. So for our audience who's attending live and then the folks who are going to see this or listen to the podcast, what what do you bring to the table for them so that they'll understand what Glory to Glory Fitness will do for them?
So with our adult clients, we had that business. It's still the same, technically the same company, but we did that until about 2020. It wasn't great for gyms in particular, where it's people sweating and and so yeah, we had to go online, and we just kept hearing over and over and over and over again from our adult clients, like, man, I wish somebody would have taught me and made it this simple when I was young. I wouldn't have had to be 50 or 60 or 40 or however old they were and lived and built. It's so hard when you have a lifetime worth of habits and a lifetime worth of living to like totally rewire and redo all of that. It's not, you didn't get there overnight. You're not going to get there in a month, and people want the quick fix and so it's just, I was like, man, what are we going to do to fix these trends in America? What are we going to do? I read a statistic on the CDC's website that said that by the year 2030, I read this in like 2020, 2021. It said that by the year 2030 that 86.3% of adults will either be overweight or obese on a BMI scale. And I was just like, man, like what? Like it's just it doesn't even register. Like then that's 5 years from now, And so I was like, man, how do we fix that? And I believe the way to fix the health of our nation is to equip and empower the next generation. And so I think if we can help our kids and teens, if we can help them to build a foundation when they're young so that each generation gets a little bit better and a little bit better, because what's happened now in our schools is nobody cares about health and PE anymore, right? It's a throwaway class. They take one little semester in their whole career, and no colleges care about it. And so it's this underfunded, under-cared about elective that's like one of the most important things that they'll ever learn. And so I believe the way to change the health of our nation is the next generation. So we took those same principles that we had helped hundreds of adults with, and we took those and we created, one of my really good friends, he writes a lot of curriculum. And so I was like, hey, I got all of our stuff. Like, we know what we're doing. It works. Can you help me script this and make it into something that would help kids? And so we put it into an online platform. And so we work with homeschool families to help them cover health and PE. And we also work with schools all over the nation, and teachers use it in their health and PE classes as well. So it's a platform that teaches everything, and it just makes health really simple. So we break it down into 4 main areas. One is functional fitness. So it's all about movement, how the body is made there, and how to have a good routine of movement in every season. Number 2 is nutrition. So we go into depth on nutrition and hydration, electrolytes, macronutrients, sugar consumption. I mean, everything. As far as that, to teach kids how to eat properly. And then we go into rest and recovery is the 3rd pillar. And so that's where we talk about sleep, stress management, stretching, posture, all sorts of holistic ways to make sure that we have preventative routines around resting and recovering. And then the last pillar, so it's FORM. The M of the method is multiplied maintenance. So how do we take the other 3 pillars, fitness, nutrition, and rest and recovery, and how do we maintain those over a lifetime to have lasting change by setting the right goals, surrounding ourselves with the right community. We talk about social media consumption. We talk about emotional health, social health. We do cover sex ed if parents want to cover that. And so, we cover everything there to just help, make health really simple in that framework for students, and then teach them how to do each of those areas. And it's awesome.
You're providing a valuable service because sometimes as parents, we might know what the right answers are, but we're not always the prophet in our children's land. So being able to come alongside a parent and echo the sentiments of what it looks like to eat healthy, to exercise enough, we're in the digital age, man. We all want to be on these things
Yep.
and trying to get off of these things and out into the world, sometimes that's a hard message for kids to hear. If I were a parent wanting to create a healthy journey for my children, what's the most valuable thing that I should take away from our conversation?
I think keeping it simple. A lot of the time when we're teaching about health, it's so much information and not application. And as much as I think it's important for kids to learn about their body and how it's made and all that stuff, it's important. It's you can give them a 300-page book and have them go through it all and test and check off all the boxes. But then if they do nothing with it, it's in one ear and out the other ear, and it was centralized around that class, and it doesn't have any impact on them. And so I think that the more simple, like FORN, that what I just explained, it's like so like crazy simple. Like, okay, I know I need to move, I know I need to eat right, I know I need, but it's if you have a simple routine in each of those areas, you're gonna be set up really, really well, right? And then you can go deeper into those and see what you can tweak and do better in. But I think just giving and making it really simple and fun for kids is really key, and helping them, you know, we have parents all the time that what you just said. Oh man, I've been trying to get my kids to eat their broccoli for years, and they watch one lesson from your curriculum, and they're like, "Hey, can we make that?" It's just having someone to back parents up to make it simple for students and for kids so that they get excited about it is just keep it simple.
One of the things that I often hear from homeschool parents is that they have kids who eat a very limited diet. I'll use one of my own grandchildren as an example. He loves everything to do with anything that has a nitrate in it. So pepperoni, ham, salami, those kinds of things. But trying to get him to eat a variety of foods, it's been very, very difficult. And um, I've had a couple of guests over the years who've said that they've been able to create opportunities with picky eaters by getting them involved in the cooking process. So, but how do you get them to have a vision for if you felt better, your life would be easier?
Yeah, all so there's two principles that come to mind in our curriculum. One is called food as fuel and food as fun. So we talk about just like a car needs gas to go, right? Our bodies need fuel. That's what food is. It's fuel that our body breaks down to help our bodies run, basically. And so that's, one of the most basic principles that we teach is, hey, most of the time food should be used as fuel. We need to eat the things that are going to provide our body with the proper amount of calories, the proper amount of nutrition, macronutrients, micronutrients, all those things. And so most of the time food is fuel. But then also some of the time it's okay to have food as fun, right? So some of the time it's when you're celebrating, or when you're, Thanksgiving or Christmas or birthdays, or it's okay to have pepperoni. It's okay to have that sometimes, but we need to look at those foods as more of a treat, or more of a food as fun. I love ice cream like more than anything. And so but I don't eat ice cream every single night because I would feel horrible all the time, and I would, and so it's most of the time fuel, but then some of the time, we can use it as fun. And so that I feel like that's a good way of looking at it, where instead of talking about it from, hey, it's a cheat meal or you're cheating on something or all that, it's like, no, like food is fuel most of the time. And then food is fun. Sometimes I get to enjoy and I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not cheating on anything. I think that's just a harmful mindset to teach kids, is that you're cheating and it's bad and that foods are bad. It's like, well, like food is a food. Like it doesn't have like moral value. Now, you being addicted to that food and not be able to control yourself isn't helpful, but it's just these guidelines that we're trying to teach. So that's number one, I'd say, is helping them understand, hey, it's okay. Those foods that I'm trying to tell you to not eat all the time, they're not necessarily bad. They may not be good for your body, like in a lot, large amounts, but sometimes we can enjoy those. Yeah, that's great. But most of the time, we need to be eating these foods to fuel and make sure that you're feeling good and things like that. So that would be the first principle that I would say as far as nutrition that came to mind. The second one is the principle of what you feed on, you hunger for. It's in balance, It's not that you can't ever have nerds or that you're just like it, but it's the principle of food as fuel most of the time, food as fun sometimes with nerds or what ice cream or whatever, And then, but also understanding the things that you put into your body, and it's not even, and it's in every aspect of life, right? The relationships that you engage in are the ones that you're gonna hunger for the most. The media that you watch, if you watch, TV more or social media, those are the things that you're gonna hunger for, whatever you take in. And so, with food, if you eat a ton of not good for you food, and you go to fast food all the time and you have sweets all the time, you're over all that stuff. Those are the foods that you're going to hunger for, because what you feed on, you hunger for. But also, in a good way, if you eat the good quality foods as fuel, like we talked about, if you eat those and you're consistent with those, I don't always feel like eating a salad. I don't always feel like eating, like I would much rather have some of these other things sometimes, but the more I feed on things that are whole and that are going to nourish my body, the more I hunger for them, to where I don't want to just run through McDonald's all the time. Or I don't want to, I want to be nourished. I think helping kids understand, hey, you may not want to eat this right now, but the more that you feed on it and the more you give your body it, the more you're going to want to eat it. And I think it doesn't have to be this, they're never going to want to necessarily eat that, right? But bringing them into the cooking process, flavoring it in ways that they like it and having fun with it, and helping them to have it consistently, is going to help them to hunger for it and value it, more and more.
Well, actually, I can't believe we're at the top of the hour. This hour has gone so fast. I've really been looking forward to it. In our show notes, I will include the link for parents to be able to find your materials and to be able to connect with you individually. But I also want to link back to a couple of episodes that we have done. I had the privilege of interviewing our CEO here at Demi Learning, Ethan Demi, and he talks about um, how walking 20 minutes a day with his kids has changed their attitudes as a family, and it has been an amazing experience. So I'll make sure that I include that as well, because your messages parallel each other so beautifully that I think that that will be a terrific parallel. So in these last couple of minutes, what are the closing words you'd like families to take away and remember?
I'm just really just thankful to partner with amazing families. And I just want to leave with encouragement, because it's hard and kids don't always listen to what you have to say, and there's so much that you have to teach and it's busy. But I just want to leave with the word of encouragement. Like, you're doing the right things, and me and my team are, and our curriculum is here to back you up, to help you impact your kids and make your life easier. And I would just leave you with, keep it simple. Keep it simple, is what I would leave you with.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that we found each other. This was a terrific investment of time. I will be recommending this conversation to families throughout our conference season this year, because I think you have a message that parents really need to hear, and to have someone come alongside you to say the same things you might say as a parent, but without a parent's voice, is sometimes really, really helpful. So thank you so much, Ashton. I really appreciate the time we got to spend together today. And one more time, tell us the website so we can find it.
Yeah, formeducation.org. So FORM education.org.
And of course, we'll include that in the show notes as well. Thanks so much for joining me today. To our audience, thank you for inviting us into your living room. It has been a terrific day to spend time with you all. Take care. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thanks again for joining us. We're glad to be a part of your educational community. You can help us grow our community even more by rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the show wherever you may be hearing this. Don't forget that you can access the show notes and watch a recording at demilearning.com/show or on our YouTube channel. We'll see you again next time. Until then, keep building strong foundations for lifelong learning.